now. The National Union of Mineworkers kicks off its 18th National Elective Congress in Boksburg today. The three-day Congress will see delegates debate the challenges confronting workers in the mining, construction and energy, as well as the metal sectors. It will also address the country's current political and economic landscape. Delegates will include leaders from COSATU, the SACP, as well as the ANC. Let's now get more on this from our reporter, Ziniko Mhlaba, who joins us from Boksburg. A very good morning to you, Ziniko. I remember when President Cyril Ramaphosa became the president of the country, he made the argument that the mining industry is a sunrise industry. It's not a sunset industry, but the industry continues to be plagued by challenges.
That is correct, Aldrin. The industry is actually facing various issues, whether we're talking about issues of health and safety within the sector, but also they're talking about geopolitics within the South African economy when it comes to the context of job losses. And we know that there are serious concerns which have been raised by the leadership of the National Union of Mineworkers when it comes to the issues of jobs, whether it's job security for those that are currently permanent in the industry. They've also been concerned about, the introduction of services, service providers within the industry who are brought in, to render services, at the expense of the permanent workers as well. But also the issue of the death of workers in the mining sector. We know that there was an improvement in 2024 compared to previous years in terms of the number of workers who lost their lives on site or in their respective jobs. And of course, they're still concerned about the numbers that have already, been recorded already this year in 2025. So those are some of the issues this conference is sitting under in terms of the broader challenges, but also the influence of the mining sector. We know that the sector previously has produced some leaders who have gone on to lead the African National Congress, which is an alliance partner of the Federation COSATU, in which NUM falls under. So those are some of the issues and important highlights in terms of why does this conference matters in the broader politics, in the broader economics and socio-economics challenges of South Africa. But to give us more context in terms of the importance of this conference, I'm joined now by the Deputy President of NUM itself, Mr. Vilakazi. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. A very, very important milestone for the union itself, your 18th conference. But now, talk to us about why should the viewers, why should the workers on the ground whom you represent care and take this conference seriously? Why is it important for them, especially those who are working underground, who are doing the hard work on the ground?
Thank you very much, Mhlaba, and the viewers and members of the National Union of Mineworkers. Of course, the Congress in the context of the NUM is a supreme body that has to deal with issues of policy and adopt a resolution to drive the growth of the economy. Of course, we are not going to look back in terms of the safety of workers and the industry itself. But what we can present or give to the viewers is that this is the highest decision-making body of the organization, where the leadership from different branches through their regions, 11 as they are, they will be here to give exactly the introspection of where are we in our 42 years now, comparing to the growth of the industry. Because truth be told, Anglo Gold Ashanti is not in the country anymore. Sibanye is operating in the field where Goldfields has already finished what is there. Sianda Bakhatla is the same in the area of Anglo-American. You name it, you go to Mpumalanga where mining itself takes place there, where we are hoping that the faith of coal in the country can be given to a point where the economy of the country must tell whether are we a sunset or are we a sunrise. I mean,
one of the worrying issues, especially for workers, I want to focus on workers with our conversation here. People are losing their jobs, the serious retrenchments that are happening in the mining sector. But also in my intro, I spoke about the introduction of service providers who are brought in by these mining companies at the expense of the permanent workers. Have you come up with a solution as leadership coming to this conference to that problem, to nab that problem, so that delegates, when they walk out of this conference, well, they're able to say, I will still have a job in the next 5 years. Are you ready? Have you done your homework in terms of giving them feedback in terms of why should they not be worried?
Of course, contractors in the mines have been there, but it wasn't like the way they are today. The only area that we need to focus on is to continue with our purpose as the mouthpiece of the workers. Remember, it is our responsibility to negotiate. Whether you come being a contractor or not, the only thing that has to be understood is to have the benefits of workers. They must have houses, they must have transport, they must have medical aid, they must have pension funds, irrespective how big you are, because there is no price that is meant for a person as a contractor or a price meant for a person called as a permanent. The price of bread we pay as workers is the price of bread that the CEO or the mine manager pays. Yeah. It doesn't make anything different. At the end of the day, it's not the size of a contract, it's the responsibility and the role our job plays in our social responsibility.
I believe the mining sector has been having challenges, or would always have challenges when it comes to negotiations of salaries, increments annually. In the previous year, you have had some instances where you sign off one-year agreements. How is the situation? Don't you think to some extent you are failing the workers when you get into the negotiating tables and you sign off a one-year contract? When it comes to job security, that might not sit well with the workers. Why has that been the case recently?
It's a two-way traffic. If you sign a 5-year wage agreement, the economy changes like we have experienced during COVID and load shedding. Who is to be blamed? If you sign a 1-year wage agreement, it depends on the mood on the table and the kind of commodity that you are negotiating on. It's not about the number of years you sign. It's about the depletion or the situation of the economy in the country. If the CPA is dropping and we have signed something way above, the question will be affordability. For me, whether it's a 5-year wage agreement or it's a 1-year wage agreement, at the end of the day, is the implementation. It's not about the color of the cat to catch the maze. It's about the power.
Mister, let me release you. We'll continue our conversation throughout this morning. Let me release you so that you can attend your other meetings. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you, Mhlaba. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That's Mr. Philip Vilakazi, the Deputy President of the National Union of Mineworkers, just giving us some insights in terms of some of the key issues this conference will be dealing with over the next 3 days. We know that later on already we'll be also hearing from the alliance partners of COSATU, but this time around they'll be attending a NUM conference. We know that the ANC will be sending a leadership to come and distribute their message of support, but also the South African Communist Party, but also the Federation itself, COSATU, will be here. We're not sure then whether the leaders will be coming through as they've been scheduled. We know that COSATU, Ms. Ziniko is scheduled, but also from SACP and Adesole Mabaila, and we understand that the Secretary General of the ANC might be coming through as well on behalf of the ANC. So that's where we will leave things at for now. We'll continue building up until the conference kicks off at 10 o'clock.